Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. How is everyone? I pray that you are all in the best of health and well-being. Alhamdulillah, I am doing great. Now in today's video I wanted to talk about how to be a lot more happier, and that's not to say that, you know, some people are not happy in their lives, but there comes a time every now and again when a lot of us just feel down, and so this video is just really created to just give you a little pick me up when you're feeling low. So if you're interested in how to become a lot more happier in life, then please continue to watch this video. Now in this life we're all trying to fulfill some sort of happiness, be it through a way of materialism or be it through spirituality. We are all trying to achieve happiness in one way or another. Now let me put it out there that complete happiness is not something that we will achieve in this life, and that is my personal opinion. I feel as though complete happiness is something that we will achieve in the hereafter, in heaven, in Jannah, and so therefore this life is like a testing ground and we go through ups and downs in order for us to be rewarded, hopefully if we pass our trials, in order for us to be rewarded with ultimate happiness in a place where happiness never ever ends. But in this life sometimes you will have peaks and other times you will have, you know, falls. That's just how life goes. Okay, so my first tip on being more happier in life is to consider what your life purpose is. For me personally, I feel like when you're feeling a sense of achievement, and that sense of achievement cannot really come through unless you know what it is that you're trying to achieve or what your goal is. So working towards your goal, and I feel like knowing your life purpose is just so important. It gives you a sense of contentment within the heart that no one can really quite describe or quite explain. Being a religious person myself, obviously my religion, Islam, has given me a sense of purpose. I know what my sense of direction is. I know what I'm doing here in this world, and I'm not just floating around for no reason. And so that really grounds me and really gives me a contentment and peace within my heart that I feel like nothing else can really take that place. So if you can, if you already have a religion or you're already practicing Islam or Christianity, whatever it is, you know, try and reach out to God or the universe, whatever you want to call it, and ask the creator of the universe to guide you to whatever the truth is, and you will start to feel a sense of peace of mind and contentment within your heart, which contributes so much to your sense of happiness. My second tip on how to be more happy is to be more grateful. I'm sure that if you've watched a few videos here on YouTube about how to be happy, you've heard of this so many times, with people advising that you try and keep a gratitude journal. And I think that that is so important, because we often forget our blessings and the good things that we have in our lives. And oftentimes whenever we feel down, it's because we are focusing our minds on the things that are not going our way, or the things that are not going according to plans, or the things that have gone wrong. So it's so useful when you wake up in the morning and you have yourself just a diary to just write down a few things that you are grateful for to have. You will find yourself sitting there for a good half an hour if you're trying to write all the things that you're grateful for. So maybe just set yourself a target of writing 5 things that you are grateful for having in your life right now. Not the things that you hope to be grateful for, like, yeah, one day I'm gonna have a car, then I'll be happy. No, but the things that you have right now. Just the ability to see, the ability to hear, the ability to walk and talk. We take these things for granted and forget that there are so many people laying in the hospital beds who cannot do these things, who will give the world and everything in it to be able to have the abilities to do these things, and yet we have been gifted with them, and we don't often actually we overlook them, and we're not as grateful as we could be for them. So try and keep a gratitude journal, and every morning write down 5 things that you are grateful for having in your life. My second tip is really linked to the first tip of being grateful, and that is to try and be more optimistic. I know that it's hard to be optimistic if things are not going right in life, as I've said before, but try to have a positive outlook on life. Having a positive outlook on life releases, you know, hormones within the body that makes you just feel really good, because you have a positive expectation. There is nothing worse than having a negative view of life, because that just further enhances that negative emotions and what in psychology is called maladaptive thinking, which is self-destructive thoughts. You don't want to have self-destructive negative thoughts or feed into that. Rather, you want to feed into the opposites, which are the positive thoughts. So one of the ways in which to do this is to try and be more optimistic. There must be something that you're looking forward to in your life, or something that you really want to achieve. So try and be more optimistic. Try and see that goal as something that has already been achieved. And so once you visualize that, it just brings about a lot of positive emotions within you, which helps you to get rid of that feeling of sadness and increases your ability to feel a lot more happier in life. Now, for us Muslims, we know that we hope and expect that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses us with goodness in our lives, and really and truly optimism is no different to what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam preaches in Islam. And that is that we should have a positive expectation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we have a positive expectation of Allah, then we will receive a lot more positive things in our lives. So if you perceive Allah to be good and that He will bring goodness in your life, then that is what you will receive. My next tip is for my Muslim viewers, and that is to avoid committing sins. Because what happens is that every time you commit a sin, a dark stain is painted over your heart, and that will continue for as long as you continue to sin, until you seek forgiveness. So try and seek forgiveness and try to avoid committing sins, because what that will do is it will put blemishes and a lot of pain upon the heart, and I'm talking about the spiritual heart. And so that will just pull you down and make you feel a lot low and really bad, and it will just pull you more and more towards the direction of the shaitan, because the light in your heart, your nur, is being faded by all of the dark spots because of the sins that we have committed. So let us try in as much as possible to avoid committing sins if we really and truly want to be happy in life. Because let's think about it in a logical manner. What makes you think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring good to you if you consistently disobey Him? And that's not to say that you can never sin or whatever, because we all sin and none of us are perfect. But whenever we do sin, let's try to repent and to avoid repeating the same mistakes. So for the Muslims, believers, let us try as much as possible to stop committing sins, because that is the only way in which our heart will be at peace and our heart will be guided aright. And again, I'm talking about the spiritual heart. The next way to be happy is to put a smile on somebody else's face. You know, we always think about what other people can do for us, and we never think that about what we can do to help others. There are so many people out there who need help. There are homeless peoples, you know, homeless shelters, orphans, so many different types of people who need help. There are elderly people who are living by themselves and never have anybody to talk to, and they can really use with the friendship. There are youths who need support and who need good role models. Help in whatever way you can, and even if you can't do it in these type of sort of massive ways, you can do it in the smaller ways. It could be as small as, you know, helping an old lady who you see carrying her shopping and she's struggling with it, helping her out, you know, in the streets. So little things like that, any little way you can put a smile on someone else's face, try and do it. And for my Muslim viewers, please guys, let's try to revive this sunnah of saying salam to your fellow brothers and sisters on the street, because this past week, I'm sure I've said salam to about 3 people who have just looked down and blanked me and continue walking, and they themselves are also Muslim sisters. I mean, let's smile. Smiling to your brother or smiling to your sister in Islam is a charity. And a lot of us are so stingy. We're so stingy, we don't even want to give away the charity of a smile. Come on, brothers and sisters, we can do more. Now, brothers, don't take offense if a sister don't smile at you, because a lot of brothers these days, they just take it as an opportunity to come over and chat to the sister. So if we're seeming to be, you know, quite harsh on you brothers, that's why we're harsh, because we just don't want to open an opportunity for a talk. My next tip is for my brothers and sisters, and that is to read the Quran as much as possible. Nothing in this life will give you contentment except with the remembrance of Allah. And indeed, in the remembrance of Allah does the heart find contentment. That is why we have Islam. Islam is a spiritual cure for a lot of us with all the diseases in our hearts that we have. And with anxiety and depression and all of these, you know, mental health illnesses rising, and also rising amongst the Muslims communities, we really need to really hold tight onto this Quran, because it is a healing for all forms of illnesses. Okay, so hold on tight to the Quran. Read the Quran regularly, read its meaning, contemplate upon the meaning of the Quran. It just gives you a soothing in the heart. You know, there have been non-believers who have heard the Quran and they're just like, what is that? You know, it's so calming and it's so relaxing, because it just heals you, guys. It just heals you. You have to have that relationship with the Quran to understand what I'm talking about. Like, there is no other place where you can find hope for whatever issues that you're going through as you can find it in the Quran. The Quran is the best way for us to heal a lot of the mental health issues that a lot of us are going through, okay? And that's not to say that someone is possessed or anything like that, no, just saying because it gives such good spiritual healing within you. So my final tip is making dua. Now, we all know the power of dua, and I think I'm going to make a video inshallah on the power of dua alone, but just to say in this video that there are some du'as that you can make which helps to alleviate sadness and worry and anxiety within the heart, and to bring about peace of mind within the heart, one of which you would have seen at the beginning of this video. Sit there, cry out, you know, cry your heart out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and ask him for help and support, and you will see things will start to improve in your life, inshallah. But it takes a lot of patience, and sometimes things happen, as I always say, and we don't see the good in them, but within it there's so much good for us. So that is all of the advice that I have to give to you guys with relation to trying to increase more happiness within you, and I pray that you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope that you have learned a thing or two and that you will try to implement it in your lives, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless and reward all of us. And for those of you who are non-Muslims, I pray that some of my advice and tips have helped you or will help you, and that you will implement them also. So thank you so much for watching. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.